Stop scrolling through the YouTube app and looking at all the other videos that you're looking at and just click back to this one because you're already listening to me and listen to what I have to say. Okay? I'm going to wait a second, let you actually get onto the video so you don't miss what I have to talk about. Otherwise, if you're not going to listen, just keep on scrolling. I don't even want you here. You're probably just a fucking disappointment and a waste of time. Okay. Now that the people that don't matter are gone, we can get into the real shit and talk about what actually matters. Talk about what's actually going to move you forward in life. Talk about what's going to slow you down. Talk about something that recently slowed me down and how I'm going to move forward from that. And that one thing is consistency. Okay? You need to stay consistent with everything that you do. That comes from your training, or that goes from your training, that goes from the time you wake up and go to bed, that goes from the way that you eat, that goes from the things that you do, everything. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay? If you're not staying consistent, you don't know what to do. You don't know what is messing up things and what is not messing up your life, okay? I'm gonna give you an example right here, okay? Say we have 3 or 4 problems. We have problem X, problem Y, and problem Z. Okay, and problem X is the problem that's actually slowing you down in life. But since your consistency and since everything is so disorganized and fucked up in your life right now, you also have problem Z and problem Y over here, and you go and you do the first thing you do is you fix problem X, and things don't get better because your mind is a mess. You're not doing anything right. So you're like, okay, I fixed problem X and that did not solve anything. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put problem X back to how it was, and we're going to go mess with Y. Now you change Y and you try to fix that, things don't get fixed. So you put that back and then you go and you try out Z. And you go try to adjust Z and that doesn't work. So then you try to adjust Z and X and that doesn't work. And then you try to adjust Z and Y and that doesn't work. And then you try to adjust them all and that doesn't work. And the reason it's not working, the reason when you fix X, even though X is the problem, is not fixing your life, is because you have so many other things out of order. And let's say that X is that you are not training enough. And that's the problem, is that you're actually just not training enough. That's why you have low energy. That's why you don't feel good about yourself. That's why you have so many problems. And Z and Y are, I would say, let's say Z is, a special diet, and Y is the job you're working at. You needed to train harder. So you did that, and that didn't do much. So then you eased up on your training. Then you're like, oh, I don't like my job though. So maybe it's that. So you quit your job and you got a new one. That didn't fix it. Oh, maybe my diet's messed up. So then you tried keto, you tried paleo. That didn't fix it. Like, oh, let's try keto and train harder. That didn't fix it. And you don't know what the problem is because you're testing so many things at once. Split testing is great, but when you're testing a million things at once and you're not staying consistent with the things that you're doing, you don't know what's fixing the problem and what's not. And what I mean by when you're not staying consistent with the things that you're doing is that if you're not waking up at the same time every day, if you're not eating the same things every day, you're not training the same way every week, you don't know which of those is the actual problem. You don't actually know if X, Y, or Z is a problem, or if it's even E, F, G, whatever it may be, because you have so many things out of order. And this is something that I had recently experienced when I had started this project on the AMG. I put a bunch of new suspension on, replaced my control arms, new wheels, all kinds of stuff. And I'm done with it now. Well, drivable, done with it, and I fucking hate how it looks. It looks like shit. I'm gonna get different wheels because the spec of these wheels just doesn't work. But while I was doing this project, I was like, okay, I have this problem, I have this project that I need to get done. And I don't have a whole lot of time to train because I need to just get this project done. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna train less and work more on the project. It's like, okay, well, the project's still not done, so maybe I can train more, but then I'll just sleep less and work more on the project. So then I would do that. And then that didn't work. So maybe I'll just only work on the project, and then I'll take an extra rest day and then move my training day to another day. So then I do that. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm on my bulk, so I've got a little bit more of a flexible diet. So maybe I'll just eat extra and then go work. And then that didn't work. And I'm trying all these things and nothing's working. Nothing's working because I didn't have a consistent plan. What I needed to have was I needed to have a specific time block where I work on my car. I need to have a specific time block where I'm training, and specific time blocks where I was eating, specific time blocks where I was sleeping, and making sure I was doing those at the same time every day. That way I know during this time block, I have to get this thing done, and that's all I get to do. That's all I'm going to do. That way I am not worrying about when I need to get other things done, because this only gets worked on during this time block. And something that I have that I would recommend you getting is a Google Calendar. Now I'm going to reorganize mine soon. That way I can set these exact time blocks. That way I am 100% locked in and dialed. But during my bulk, since I was on a bulk, eating more, eating a little bit more, cheat meals, doing whatever I wanted, I had no consistency. Since I was working on the cart for this past 3-4 weeks, I was staying up late, messing with my circadian rhythm. I had no consistency with that. And that led into my training. That led into my mindset. That led into anything. And I started to get really tired. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm so damn tired, but I'm not depressed. I don't understand what's wrong. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try that. And none of this stuff was working. I want to make sure this thing's not muted. This is my second time now recording this video, because even though it showed the audio recording, my mic was muted, so you guys couldn't even hear me. But I was trying so many things at once that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what the problem was. I didn't know what to fix, because I was just doing nothing but breaking my consistency more and more and making it more difficult on myself. And what makes it even worse is the fact that I wake up the previous day for work. I usually wake up at 10, 11 p.m. Then I go to work. I do my cardio in the morning. I eat, do whatever I need to. Then I drive to work. I start work early. And then I come home. As of right now, I train, or as of right now, I would go and make my pre-workout meal. I train, and then I go to bed. That is my new schedule since I'm on my cut now. And since I didn't have such a specific schedule, I was kind of training in the morning sometimes, training in the evening sometimes, there was no consistency there. But not only that, since I do wake up in the morning, the previous day to start my day, on the weekends, I was still waking up between 4 and 8 in the morning. That way I could try to catch up on my sleep that I missed during the week on the weekend. The problem with that is that was obliterating my circadian rhythm, not allowing me to have the proper sleep and proper recovery that I actually needed to actually make shit work out, to actually get things done. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I was basically resetting my circadian rhythm from the weekend, where I was getting up later, going to bed later. And then I said Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were my days where my circadian rhythm was finally locking back in from, for the week to get up the previous day. But then the weekend would come, and now it would flip-flop again, and it would get all screwed up. And what this was doing is it was just causing me to be more fatigued during random times during the day, have more energy during random times during the day, which then leads into your eating habits, which then leads into your training, which then breaks your consistency and slows you down overall. And the more your consistency breaks, it compounds and breaks even more and more, and it makes it more difficult to get everything done. It makes your body drag more, it makes your body hurt more. It makes you be a little more lazy, which then makes you get injured more. And on top of that, since I did this project and now I have insanely stressed my sciatic nerve, which is pinched, it is extremely painful to walk around, bend over, do anything right now. My right side of my lower back and shooting pain down my leg, it's debilitating would maybe be the word. But it doesn't matter. That's not an excuse to slow down, to sleep more, to continue to do more things. I'm letting this physical pain leach into my brain and slow me down, which then causes me to do more things. It causes me to hurt more and slow down more and be more and more tired. So now, what I am going to do is set a specific time plan. That way I know exactly at these times of the day I do these things. That way I can stay focused on the task at hand and actually get things done. And it goes to the same concept of what are you doing at home? What are you doing at the gym? What are you doing at work? If you're being lazy at work, you're going to be lazy at home. And I get it. You might not like your jobs. You might think, oh, I don't care about it. It doesn't matter. But it really does, because if you're being lazy at work and you're dragging your ass through work, that energy and that frequency you're on is going to drag into your day when you leave, and you're going to be less motivated, more tired, feel like shit when you're training, and everything's going to be so much more difficult. And that's what was happening for me. Since work is so much slower, we had so much more time to do less. Instead of just finding things to do, finding things to clean, figuring out ways I can at least be walking, or even if there's nothing to do, walk around instead of sit down. It was leading into the later day, making me feel more fatigued, making me want to do less things, making me, oh, I'm super tired, I'll just sleep extra today and train again on the weekend. And then the weekend would come, and now I have to train on my rest day, and I can't get shit done that I need to get shit done on. And then it slows me down, and now I'm just playing this big game of catch up. And this is something that you're probably going through right now, is that you're constantly just playing this game of catch up. Oh, you messed up one day, so you're trying to fix the next day, and this and that. And it's so confusing, and it's just uncomprehendable. Your mind you can't wrap your mind around it. You need to fix your problems. And you need to even fix the problems that you don't think are problems, okay? The first thing that I am going to do, besides setting my time blocks that I have set, also is organizing my car and organizing my room. My room is not an absolute disaster right now. I still make my bed every single morning. I still do my morning routine, my cold shower. But on the sides of my desk in my dresser, I have a bunch of stuff piled up everywhere. And like just random things that need to be put on shelves, organized, etc. And if I would have just simply bought shelves and kept them all on shelves, it would be organized. I'd be able to find things more. I would have more peace of mind. My mind would flow better. It would, I can't think of the word right now, but my mind would just work better if it was more organized. But instead, what I was doing is like, oh, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I'm going to try to fix this problem. I'm going to try to fix X, Y, and Z, and E, and F problem. Instead of just focusing on one of the main problems, is that there's a lot of things that are unorganized that I need to organize. Not just in my mind, but in real life. And if you organize those things, you take the time to organize your room, you go buy the shelves you need to put your stuff on. That way you can find things. That way it looks nicer. You're going to get so much more done. I believe it's Jordan Peterson that said, if you want to know what it looks like inside your mind, walk in your bedroom and take a look what it looks like in your bedroom. Your bedroom is a great reflection of how your mind looks right now. If your bedroom is half organized, half not, it's probably because your mind is half organized, half not. And that's why you feel half stressed out, half on edge, and half amazing. Not depressed, but amazing. You might be depressed and your room might be a mess. Maybe your room's clean and you're still depressed because you're just not doing other training things that you need to be doing. You're not eating right, whatever. But the point that I'm getting to is that if you don't have everything right in a row, if you don't have all your ducks in a row, it's just not going to work, and you're not going to be able to progress. You're not going to be able to keep your consistency because you're just constantly trying to play catch up. Okay, another great example is when you're eating. This morning after I did my fasted cardio and I ate on my drive to work, I ended up going hypoglycemic. I'm not diabetic, but occasionally I just get hypoglycemia. And now, whether you get that or not, if you know what I'm talking about, the only fix pretty much is just to have something with carbohydrates in it. So I ate a little bit of extra food. And since I'm on my cut, what does that mean now? Unfortunately, I can't have my last meal that I normally have at the end of the day because I ate extra earlier on in the day. It doesn't mean I'm going to say, oh, today's fucked, I'm going to eat whatever I want. It means I'm just going to adjust my meals. That way, at the end of the day, I don't eat my last meal. I don't eat the last meal that I would normally eat. And a similar thing goes for your meal timing and stuff. Is like, if you have a specific meal timing that you're eating on, if you know, when I wake up in the morning, if it's cardio day, I do my cardio. If it's not cardio day, then I just wait until I get to work and then I eat my meal around the same time. And then when it comes to the next meals, which are for me beef and rice, I split those up and I usually eat those around 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And then for my next meals of chicken and rice, I'll split those up and eat those around 11 and 12. And then for my last meal, I'll usually eat it around 3 whenever I get home, right before I train, and then I'll go work out. And then I'll shower, do my whatever I need to do before bed, and then I'll go to bed. And it's a consistent eating routine. My energy levels are consistent because I'm eating at the same times every day. If you're eating at a bunch of random times every day, you're not going to have consistent energy levels and you're not going to know what to adjust. I get it, sometimes shit happens, sometimes you can't eat at the right time, sometimes you have to flex. But if you're always having your sleep fucked up, if you're always having your eating times fucked up, the times where they get even more strung out, you're going to be screwed because you're not going to know what the problem is and you're just going to feel even more like shit. So if you have things consistent, if you have things organized, if you have things in order, you can move forward and you can actually make progress and you can finally become unstoppable.